Vision and foresight are inextricably linked together like Siamese twins. They are synonymous in leadership, and when a leader seeks the kingdom of vision and foresight, then creativity and innovation shall be added unto him. This captures the truth about the burgeoning aviation sector in Akwa Ibom State, aptly described as one of Nigeria's best-kept secrets. A testimony confirmed by none other than the Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN, who on Tuesday, January 16, 2024, came to the state on the invitation of Governor Umar Eno.
What we have here is a hidden jewel, and I think it has been done deliberately so that people will not quickly catch up with them. They hid this thing all along, because if other subnationals have known that they were doing this, they would have started immediately to catch them. But they hid all this thing from us. And now they're almost ready and everybody's behind. Everybody's behind. But it's all for Nigerians. Yes. It's all for the good of Nigerians. This is beautiful.
Before the visit of Chief Keyamo, Governor Moeno, late last year, met with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to solicit for the federal government's support for the formal takeoff of the MRO and the Smart International Airport terminal. Few days later, the governor, whose deliberate policy of politics of inclusion has earned him accolades, was in Abuja again, and this time went to meet Minister Festus Keyamo, inviting him to make a stopover in the land of promise. Prompting the partnership deal for the aviation sector in the state further, Governor Eno had also wished the minister would come to witness the arrival of the first of 10 brand new Airbus that was touching down in the state the following week. The aircraft, whose transfer of title was done in Mirabel, Canada, on the 24th of November 2023, made its journey from Mirabel via Toulouse, France, to Abuja, and finally into Uyo at exactly 11:10 a.m., received by Governor Eno and other top officials of government, including his wife, Pastor Patience Umoeno, and his deputy, Senator Akun Eyarenyi. The governor in his address acknowledged the contributions of his predecessors in bringing aviation development to Akwa Ibom State. He reiterated his strong support for Ibom Air and applauded the management for a job well done.
Let me particularly celebrate and again thank my boss and political father, the Kurudombe Emmanuel, for the work that he did. I must thank him openly for accepting our appeal to have represented us in Canada when it was difficult for me to have traveled. We want to thank him for all of the work that he did and what he's still doing to support the administration. We'll continue to rely and depend on all our past leaders, and we plead that you accept when we knock on your door to ask for any help. Ibom Air was one of the first places I visited shortly after I was sworn in, and I assured the management of the commitment of my administration to see to the expansion and growth of the airline. I've also flown Ibom Air as your chief marketing officer, and I'm excited, and it was a pleasurable moment.
Earlier, in Mirabel, Canada, during the title transfer exercise on November 24, 2023, the initiator of the Ibom Airline and immediate past governor of the state, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, was on hand with other top management officials of the airline to proudly sign for the delivery of the airline. For Mr. Emmanuel, it was a thing of joy that a vision he had during his administration was being vigorously pursued by Governor Moeno, who is not only connecting the dots but is also making sure all the projects are put to maximum use for the benefits of the people. The miracle at Mirabel was witnessed by the visionary former governor, Mr. Ibom Emmanuel, the Chief Executive Officer of Ibom Air, Captain Mfonudum, and the Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer, Mr. George Uriesi. It was like a miracle that for the first time the Nigerian flag is hoisted in Airbus Factory, Canada, courtesy of a sub-national Akwa Ibom State.
When we were at Mirabel in Canada to receive the first of the 10 of the brand new A220-300 series of the Airbuses for Ibom Air, we turned around, I looked at Captain Fonudum. He looked at me. We almost shedded tears. Because even the Airbus people turned around and said, in their generation of Airbus management, that was the first time Nigerian flag was flying in the Airbus factory.
When the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Management, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN, came visiting on the 16th day of the new year, the state government rolled out red carpets to welcome him. And not just him, but several other top officials of the ministry. Ibom Air's Airbus A220-300 series comes with the very latest in aviation technology, ensuring not only superior comfort and safety but also reduced environmental impact through its eco-efficient design. Its advanced features include in-flight Wi-Fi, in-seat power, and overhead video displays dedicated to providing an unparalleled flying experience for passengers. This much was shown to Mr. Keyamo, who was led by Governor Eno to inspect the brand new Airbus. The story of the glory of the aviation sector in Akwa Ibom State is a product of sustained serial good thinking across administrations, right from the era of architect Victor Attah, who defied all odds when he conceived the vision and went on to commence the construction of an airport in Akwa Ibom State. The facilities inspected impressed the Honorable Minister of Aviation, and he could not suppress his satisfaction.
This is an incredible facility here. One of the very first things I identified when I came to office is the need for us to have a maintenance, repair and overhaul facility in Nigeria, a world-class one. The potential of this place, first of the MRO, the potential is world-class. It's about 90%, 95% complete, and by the time it becomes fully operational, I am very, very certain that it's going to capture the whole of the markets in West Africa, in Central Africa, and even up to North Africa. And that is what we'll be looking for. One of the major issues hampering the operation of the aviation sector in Nigeria is we are private operators. It has always been things like this. Our planes go outside the country, they line up for many months in order just to drag them into the MRO facilities there for them to get normal C checks or even ABC checks. But with this one now, we can conserve foreign exchange. We don't have to source for foreign exchange for them to meet their international obligations. And we can also attract foreign exchange into Nigeria. Again, the terminal building, that is the twin project going on here, the new terminal building. It's not just a terminal building. What I've just seen is a hub. It's a proper hub. where they can process international passengers and transfer them from one section to the other for them to catch their international flights.
Of the truth, for any leadership to take the people on a flight to the altitude of prosperity and boom, it needs the twin wings of vision and passion. The vision to visualize a brighter future for the people, and passion to fast forward such future with courage. This sums up the rising and shining story of Ibom Air that has launched Akwa Ibom State to the big league through the well-thought-out initiative of one administration and the sustainability and expansion by another administration for the overall good of Akwa Ibom State. Governor Umoeno of Akwa Ibom State, through his Arise agenda, is demonstrating commitment to sustaining the vision of the previous administration in the aviation sector, where Ibom Air croons as the icing on the cake. An outsized vision indeed. Today, Ibom Air, a limited liability company owned by the Akwa Ibom State government, is an epitome of reliability, on-time departures, and excellent service. It has a fleet of 8 aircraft, 5 Bombardier new generation CRJ 900 series, 2 Airbus A320s, and 1 Airbus A220-300, covering 8 destinations. Ibom Air is like a dream on the runway of possibilities. It has been a cruise on the altitude of milestones in every flying mile, and the vision of the former governor, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, to replicate the Ethiopian model, where aviation is to their economy what oil is to Nigeria's, in Akwa Ibom State, has been met, with the airline scooping Best Airline Awards for 3 consecutive years.
Stand to be corrected. Let any man, let any businessman, let any politician, let any government official show me one country where a state in Africa has nurtured and brought to fruition the unveiling of a commercially viable airline business that has a vision that will materialize in a very short time, within a period of 2 years, except the state that is named after God on planet Earth. That is Akwa Ibom State.
Ibom Air was the leader of the pack and rallying point in that quest to launch Akwa Ibom State into the big league of industrial giants, laying a foundation of economic revolution akin to that of the Asian tigers, with attendant tons of blessings for the state. According to the Chief Operations Officer of Ibom Air, Mr. George Uriesi, already the airline has hashed employment for Akwa Ibom people and Nigerians as a whole. Interestingly, this vision has made Akwa Ibom people flourish in the distinguished career of aeroplane pilots. 7 Akwa Ibom indigenes are among the 47 pilots employed by Ibom Air. The refreshing air of employment for Akwa Ibom people also includes managerial cadre, such that 22 out of the 38 managers in the company are indigenes of the state, as well as other employments.
We now have 542 members of staff full-time, of which about 325 of them, which is about 60% of the staff profile, are Akwa Ibomites, inclusive of 22 of the 38 managers that the company has at the moment, which is about 60% of the managers. And of course, the executive management, which is comprised of the CEO, the COO, and the CFO.
Currently, 14 engineers recently employed by the airline are undergoing training in the Airbus production line in Canada to understudy the manufacturing and maintenance process of the aircraft, while another batch is waiting on the wings to make their own flight to stardom.
When we started, we didn't have an Akwa Ibom pilot. Today we have 7 out of the 41 pilots. 5 of those 7 are young pilot graduates that we took in 2019, trained them to fly our aeroplanes. They are now all senior first officers, and very soon they start making captain in the next couple of years. 5 of them, sharp young guys. We employed 14 brand new, just qualified engineers, aeronautical engineers from various parts of the world, including in Nigeria. Akwa Ibom has 14 of them. Of the 21 young people we initially employed as engineers, they are all qualified on the CRJ 900. They've become even senior engineers on the CRJ 900. Out of those 14, 8 of them are now on the Airbus A220 team. They just finished the theoretical training. They are now going to Montreal, Canada, where our aeroplane is on the manufacturing, on the production line, to join them in the production of our aeroplane so that they have hands-on knowledge of the aircraft, know everything about it until the aircraft is finished being produced. And out of these 14 people that have gone for that, 8 of them are Akwa Ibom.
This good initiative of government in the establishment of Ibom Air is having a multiplier effect on the economy of Akwa Ibom State. The airline has, in the past 3 years, remitted taxes to the tune of about 8 billion naira to the state, which is further deployed into development purposes for the state. Former governor of the state, Architect Victor Attah, who initiated the Akwa Ibom Airport project, described the MRO as a money spinner for the state and again supports the vision behind the initiative.
The MRO, as conceived, is supposed to be a big money earner for Akwa Ibom State. And I was pained when it was abandoned. It is the only one in West Africa. We have a similar one in Ethiopia. We have one in South Africa. And this was conceived to serve the western region of Africa, or the western region of Africa.
In an overview of the MRO facility, the Chief Executive Officer of Ibom Air, Captain Fon Udum, said with the completion of the MRO, Ibom Air and other airlines would be saved from the long wait and hassles of getting their aircraft serviced in foreign countries and in foreign currencies.
This attempt to build an MRO in Nigeria started in 1978. That is so many years ago, over 50 years. It hasn't been built. Even in 1982, in one of the flights to New York, they took us and showed that this is the company that will come and help us build MRO. The vision was only actualized by Governor Dom Emmanuel, even though it was started many years earlier by Governor Victor Attah. But the significant thing here is that we have an MRO that is world-class and the opportunity to train our young Akwa Ibomites in the art of aviation maintenance.
With a 12,160 square meter of hangar space, the MRO has the capacity to simultaneously accommodate 8 A220s, climated controlled, 2 Boeing 747-400s side by side of 4 B737/A320 aircrafts. The new International Terminal Building, another world-class aviation masterpiece by the immediate past administration in Akwa Ibom State, is a 3-floor edifice sitting on a total area of about 28,500 meters square, measuring 183 meters in length, 117 meters in width, and a height of 14.5 meters, with 4 escalators, 7 lifts, and staircases for ease of movement within the facility, and 5 boarding bridges, each with a lift and staircase. It has a capacity to process 1.5 million passengers annually in a 12-hour daily work shift and 3 million in a 24-hour shift. These and more underscores the readiness of the new administration of Governor Moeno to ensure that other components of the Victor Attah International Airport, like the repairs, maintenance and overall MRO unit, are ready and function optimally, so that complementarily they will all operate and make Akwa Ibom State a one-stop aviation hub in Africa, delivering cargoes of development and prosperity. Through this sustained vision, the Arise agenda of the Pastor Moeno administration will equally find fitting expression, where boom will be injected into the economy through air power. Governor Moeno sustained talks with the Minister of Aviation, Mr. Festus Keyamo, on partnership and support from the federal government in icing the cake on the state's aviation is beyond mere rhetorics. And the impression of the minister during his recent visits sums it all.
Akwa Ibom State, and especially the facilities in Oyo here, they are ripe for an international hub. One, the runway meets international standards, which is about 3 kilometers, 3.6 kilometers. And that's the same size as 1/8 rights in Lagos. You have met all the standards, so be certified as an international hub. DGNCA, once application comes, process it.
We thank the Honourable Minister for visiting. It's not easy to leave Abuja. Abuja is a comfort zone. Not every minister will want to get out of the comfort zone to come out to see what we have. So we'd like to thank him for coming. And I believe it's been a worthwhile visit, and you'll be surprised the depth that this minister has in the aviation industry. As a matter of fact, I had to ask him, at what point did you get into aviation like this? Is it just when you were appointed? Because he raises issues, he's able to give direction, and you can see that he's hands-on. So we thank him for coming, and we want a collaboration. There are a few things we talked about. This is Nigeria. We want to fly the Nigerian flag proudly. We want to collaborate with the aviation ministry to portray Nigeria. We already have here an aviation ecosystem that Nigeria can work with, and we can compete with the rest of Africa and indeed the world.
Ibom Air is a story of an airline that has become a beautiful pride and pride to the state, that is turning on the wings of accomplishments. With Governor Moeno as the new captain in the cockpit of flight Akwa Ibom, nothing will equally stop the crooning, soft-spoken white birds of vision on the runway of vision, even as Akwa Ibom arises as a state that is airborne in the firmament of economic freedom. Ibom Air is the compass of the flight. Akwa Ibom State is flying high. Akwa Ibom State is on the radar of boom with the cargoes of happiness.